How are you? From wherever you are watching us, welcome to the bench. There is the People's Bench where we say it the way it is without mincing words. I am your host Fred Ogweno and we are coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel here in Nairobi, a very nice place where you can just come and relax. For much more about Muthu Silver Springs, you can scan the QR code on your screen there and you will be able to find how you can enjoy our services. Tonight we are speaking about matters to do with the compensation of the victims of police brutality, those who were maimed, killed, and those who suffered in the hands of the police since 2017 to date. A number of them were killed and many have been widowed, many have been orphaned. President William Ruto has said that it is the time that these people be compensated. And we are here to speak about this with none other than Joshua Okayo. He's a young advocate and he was there on the streets with the GenZ. He was abducted for 3 nights. He was away from home and suffered the ordeals in the hands of those, the government says that, unknown people. We are going to find out. How are you, my brother?
Fine, thank you, my brother.
Welcome to the bench.
Asante.
A pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to see you too.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You may introduce yourself further if there is something that you feel maybe I've not said about you. There is the People's Bench.
Not really. Thank you, and I greet you all. My name is Joshua Okayo, as he rightfully said. I'm a lawyer, a human rights defender, and I'm a public service delivery champion.
Yes.
So I like to ensure that public service is delivered as it should be for those that we elect and those that are appointed into those appointive positions.
Thank you.
That's what I do.
Wow.
And of course I speak for the young people.
Yes.
Yes.
And on the People's Bench, where we say it the way it is,
Yeah.
a bench by the people, for the people, with the people and from the people.
Nimefurahia kufika bench.
Karibu, my brother.
Asante.
Karibu sana. Now, you were on the streets.
Yes.
And you were abducted for 3 nights. You were not at home. Some people may not know, what you went through before we come to talk. We begin to talk about compensation.
Yeah.
All these things, ulabalus, and all these things that are happening. Could you kindly just tell us what happened to you and what you still feel when you remember the young people who lost their lives on the streets fighting for a better Kenya?
Yeah. I was abducted on 26th of June, 2024. And just at my place, of course I was dragged into a car, handcuffed, my head was covered, and then these guys drove. So the driving lasted for about 10-15 minutes, silent, and then someone decided to break the ice, and someone said, "Oh, so now you are Okayo." And we started talking, and they were asking me stories about my involvement in mobilizing young people, and especially mostly students around town, around Nairobi, and who is funding us, or rather who is funding our activities insofar as printing of T-shirts and other merchandise is concerned, and the banners and all those things we were using. Yes. to push the hashtag finance bill. What is it called? Finance Bill 2024.
Yeah,
Reject Finance Bill 2024. Yes. And I told them myself I was doing what I could in my personal or individual capacity as Joshua Okayo. And by then I was doing my postgraduate diploma at the Kenya School of Law. So I was the president of Kenya School of Law. So I felt like I just had a duty to lead and to probably mobilize my fellow young people to also turn up to what we believed, and I still believe, was our civic duty and our constitutional right to exercise under Article 37. So that is what was happening. So they asked me questions and they're like, oh, you think we're joking? Yani huwezi tuambia ni nani anawapea pesa ama ni nini? And they were also particular about where I got to know the information about IMF and World Bank being involved in the drafting of Finance Bill 2024. Because it so happened that on 20th, just the Thursday before the 25th week, I made a series. I was in an interview in town and I talked about IMF and World Bank's involvement in Finance Bill 2024. And I think that video went viral. So they were also asking me about that video and who gave me that information about IMF and World Bank and all that. I told them, it's all out there. This is public information. If you're keen to read, you must have known that IMF and World Bank has a hand. So we went, they said, okay. And then they continued. I think the guy on the co-driver's seat was making calls. These other ones were just doing their things, I could feel. So we got to a place and they got me out of the car. Of course, we were walking. I don't know where we are going to, but finally I could feel we are in a room. So I was left in a room and they banged the door. You could hear boom, the echo. Then they went. So I was like, hama ni wadanganye ndio nitoke hapa. Because now it's now becoming real. It's now dawning on me that, hey, kumbe this thing is real. These people are serious. So they stayed for some time, for quite a long time. Now when they came back, two of them, they opened the door and unasikianga ile mtu amefungua shwa. Then they came. Now the first guy, I don't know, I felt someone has hit me on the back. So when they hit me on the back, then they asked me, who gave you money to print stuff?
You were still blindfolded?
Yes, I'm blindfolded. My hands are cuffed, so I can't do anything. I told them, I don't know. You know, unajua bwana. Hii maneno tumefanya miaka mingi, so we know. They hit me continually hitting me on, kwa mikono hivi, kwa mguu pale, on my back, sometimes on my chest. So because I was not telling them probably what they wanted, it's like they got tired, so they left. Again, they came back after staying for some time. Wananipea tu time vizuri ni heal, nikue poa, I think. Then they came back. Have you thought about whether or not you want to uko ready kutuambia ukweli ama you still think, and all that? So they came and went back and came and went back like 4-5 times. And then they left me. Finally, they came back. Wakanitoa hapo into the car, the boot. Then they drove off. And then I remember they removed me from the boot after driving and threw me away. So when they threw me away, that is the last thing I remember.
So you were thrown away after how many days?
Now I didn't know. At that time I didn't know.
Okay. Yes,
so later on is when I realized, it was after 3 days.
Because you can't even know,
you can't even know.
You can't differentiate between day and night.
Between day and night. Yeah. You can't know what is happening where. I could not hear any voices. But, well, at some point I could hear voices from afar. But you cannot tell what is happening around you. So you cannot tell. Understand? And at that time you don't even want to listen to all those voices. You want to listen to the voices in your head.
Yes, what was going through your mind during all this time?
I was asking myself, should I tell them a lie to make them believe that this is the truth? Should I call someone's name who is not even part of this? Should I just create something up to relay? But I was like, no, there's no need. There's no way. Were you given food or water? I was not given food or water for all those days. Nothing to eat. Actually, when I was found along Maragua River, uko Muranga. There's one mzee who said, huyu wako njaa, huyu anaweza kufa hata kwa njaa, achana na hiyo vitu ingine. Mumpeleke akule kwanza. I was dehydrated. I had not eaten. So you can imagine, I was weak. I could not even walk on my own. I could not walk. Hata singeweza panda boda. So they, put me on a boda and someone at the back, and they drove me to, to take water first and a little bit of food, uji kwanza. And then we went to police station, reported, and afterwards then we went to the hospital. So looking at all that, and of course the hospital cost quite a bit. But I also have to say my friends and my community around KSL, church and many other places came through for me. So I can say, and there was serious support even from Kenyans on X. But the pain I went through, you know, the physical pain, the physical torture, the emotional torture. Let me tell you, Fred, I have not even had, I am not comfortable, even as we speak, to speak to, what is it called, to a psychiatrist or a emotional, whatever, to a doctor. I am uncomfortable. I have tried. I have gone to like, I don't know how many counselors. I try to, but, you know, so I still don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I'm in the house, my balcony, my kitchen is next to the balcony. So when you're in the kitchen, there's a balcony. And then there's a window, there's a door to the balcony. Most times when I'm in the kitchen, I can see someone peeping and someone, you know, shooting at me. You see? And I can see the whatever was happening when I was in that room. I can all see that. In the night, even when I'm cooking. So sometimes, for the person outside not to see me, in my head, I feel like they probably seeing me. I switch off the light. So if I have to prepare something in the kitchen in the night, I prepare in the dark. I'd rather have my phone light, my flashlight,
to date,
than have, I'm talking about what happens even now, than have the lights on. Because when the lights are on, I feel like someone is seeing me and they might probably come for me, you know. So these are things I still go through. And that is just me. I can imagine any other young person who probably went through what I went through. I can imagine who went through 30 days, all right? I can imagine any other person who was also abducted. The likes of my friends, Kina Yoko, Kina Billy and such, Kina Bob Njagi. I don't know. You know, every person has their experiences.
And have you tried to come together, the abductees, you know, Kina Bob Njagi, so that you can share your stories, you know, to help you in the process of healing, so that you can share what you people went through? Or
yeah, there's a time we've been in close communication with those other guys, my other friends. But I wouldn't say we have come together, say, in a platform together, all of us to just talk and share. No, we haven't. But we talk, you know, individually on phone and all that. But we've not had that common platform to say, now let's talk about our experiences and let's help each other to do what? To move on and to probably to heal. So we haven't done that. People of, you know, of goodwill have recommended counselors. And I want that, but you just find that you cannot be consistent with it. You understand? Fred, last year, I told you I was in KSL. Immediately after that abduction, I never attended my classes faithfully. I was attending one in a week. I don't feel like it. You know? It's like my life changed completely. There was a complete turnaround. All right? So even these discussions and whatnot, I'm happy that even the guys at KSL understood me. I was even contemplating not doing all the papers. You see, bar exams are not a joke. But towards the end of the year, towards the end of the period, I think something just told me, just do the papers. And I had support, you know, friends, family. They were telling me, just if you feel you can't do it, don't. But if you feel you can, fine.
And you didn't pass.
But for them, they were like, we would prefer you don't do all of them because we are afraid you will fail. Because you have not read, you have not been attending classes faithfully. I was attending classes virtually, but logging in, but not listening.
Not listening.
Because you can't concentrate. You can't. Okay? But I thank God I was able to pass my exams. So, I can tell you from last year, from all that experience, my life has never been the same. And I hope I get to heal someday.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hope I get to move on from these thoughts and these things in my head and the voices and the pictures of people I see. you know, and the gunmen I see, the hitmen I see around every time I walk, and you know.
What comes into your mind when you see, you know, police, when you see these hitmen, you know, when you see these people around?
Do you mean physically now when they are present?
Yes.
No. I think I've grown to have this inherent hate for police. You understand? Because I tend to believe those people who held me were police officers. I saw a pistol, you know, and they had handcuffs. Not everyone has handcuffs every day. So I believe they are police officers. And apart from that, I have seen other atrocities. I have seen people killed in the streets. On 20th, Thursday,
Tell us.
June 2024, Kimathi Street. I was not there, but I was not a very long distance from there when Rex was killed. You see, we were running. The police were coming. Walitokea hiyo side ya, what is this? I don't know that place, Missouri. But when they started shooting, and we thought they were just shooting, you see the rubber bullets and the tear gas canisters, jioni. And now we were running. So when we got to Ukumbele, somewhere around Bank of India, we had run to Kenyatta Avenue. I hear some people say, ati kuna mtu ameuawa. I was like, no way, you're not serious. Kuna mtu ameuawa. And you know, until then, people had not been killed during the protests. On 18th of June, no one was killed. On 20th, no one was killed until late in the evening. Late in the evening when Rex was killed. Then now it was getting real. I was like, someone has been killed. Yes. So mimi nikarudi with a clique of my friends, kurudi to sikie kama ni ukweli. People are running, we are running towards that. Then they were saying, wameua. That is when wameua started. I was like, Jesus Christ. So is this serious? They killed Rex on 20th. I can't even tell what I thought about it. To date, I don't even know what I think about it. But I felt shivers. I felt like, where? This is now real. This is now the Mau Mau we've been talking about. It's real. Then I think at that moment when waliua, that is when people said, no, for today, let's go back home. Because we were like, it's gonna get worse. And people went home on that day. I remember that is the day people danced. There's a video of people dancing some modern music Apo Nini, Tomboya Street. Yes, that video was captured on 20th. And I was part of that group that we were dancing. The day was over. We had surrendered for the day, but we knew we would come back bigger and better.
Mm-hmm. Each time you could see your colleagues fell on the streets, you know, until it was now becoming the order of the day. The killing were no longer news, you know, it had become, we were now getting used to it, you know, and there was no accountability. When we were having abductions, you know, you are saying that you reported to the police. Until now, those who abducted you have not been apprehended.
No.
None is in court for abducting not only you, but your colleagues. Now, we are having this conversation to compensate for those atrocities. What is your thought and what is your take?
Number one, we did not just go to the streets. We went to the streets demanding for something to be done. We went to the streets demanding for zero corruption to end. We went to the streets demanding for better life. We went to the streets to lower the cost of education. We went to the streets to get better health care. We went to the streets for economic justice so that everyone can afford life, all right? We went to the streets for employment. None of that has been sorted. None of that. None. Niambie hata moja, hakuna. There's nothing.
He has lowered the university fees.
What university fees has who lowered? Who are you saying he?
The president.
He has not lowered university fees. Where has he lowered university fees? I went to University of Nairobi, Faculty of Law. I was paying 26,000 Kenya shillings per year, academic year. Right now, a student going to University of Nairobi Law School is paying about 200,000 Kenya shillings per academic. Is that lowering or actually quadrupling the amount? He has not lowered. He has increased. Okay? Same student, I paid 5,400 per academic year for accommodation, the halls. Those old university halls at University of Nairobi. They had never been repaired, nothing has been done. But now they are paying between 42,000 and 51,000, depends on which hall you're staying in. Is that justice? Is that lowering?
That he has transformed the health sector.
What transformation of health sector?
That SHA is now
we used 104 billion Kenya shillings to move, to just replace N with S. All right? 104 billion. NHIF was working pretty well, but of course, like any other system, NHIF had its challenges. SHA, that you're talking about now, has bigger challenges than NHIF. Did we have to use 104 billion to replace a system that was working with a system that has bigger challenges now? And as if that is not enough, okay? As if 104 billion is not enough. The other day, we just realized Ladnan Hospital, which is built on an incomplete building, is getting 66 million Kenya shillings for the month of August disbursement for SHA. And yet, KU, TTRH, KNH combined are not even getting that that same amount. And they're the biggest hospitals, housing or taking care of the most number of patients. So where is this money going to? Are you telling me he has he has made the health better? He has not. He has worsened the health. For a long time, we did not have vaccines in the hospitals. What are you saying? We did not have vaccines in the hospital. Okay? For a long time, SHA was only paying a third of, what is it called? Maternity. Even Linda Mama that we used to have was scrapped. Why? Is health system better now? It's not. It's worse.
But he said that there was a lot of corruption.
It pains us that health system is worse and a lot more money has been used that should have been used to do other better things. And still, we are losing money in that same system to corruption. Let me tell you, Fred, the money we are losing now to corruption in SHA is much worse than the money we were losing in NHIF. What William Ruto should have done is he should have used little percentage of that 104 billion Kenya shillings to make NHIF better, to tighten the loophole so that we don't lose money in NHIF. It was a mistake to start a completely new health funding model. I mean, health insurance model.
CS Eden Duale last week presented a very long list of those who are stealing from SHA, and they are going to arrest them hopefully.
Let me tell you. This show was called Justice or Cover Up. You see what, I mean this particular one.
Yes.
You see what Duale is doing? Is a cover up. Now you want to tell me Duale was not able to know that there are pilferages and there is theft in the health sector until people uncover the corruption that is happening. Then all of a sudden, we have people who've been stealing and we are going to take them to court. That's a cover up. Bullshit, sham. It's not going anywhere, I can tell you. It is to you and me who think that now this guy is actually want to take care of what is happening in the health sector. It's not. It's a cover up. They have realized that guy, kumbe wananchi wako sawa. Yani hao watu wamejua kuna corruption inafanyika. Now, the president called Duale, told Duale, kuja. What you do, Duale na Oumoluga. Oumoluga is my village mate. But I wonder why he was getting into these things. He called Duale and Oumoluga told them, you know what? Kumeharibika. What you do for these people to actually know that you are working. Saa hii ndio sasa come up with a list. Okay? Of people you think are stealing from the health sector. Come up with a list of people you think are behind the corruption that people have realized in health sector. And then behave as if you're going to prosecute them. But you know, ultimately, nothing is going to happen. If there was the first person to be prosecuted, it should be this CEO of SHA. The first person that should be prosecuted, that should be on that Duale list, should be this Shah CEO who has links with Ladnan Hospital. He should be the first one. Because we want to know how Ladnan, a hospital built on an incomplete building, is receiving 66 million Kenya shillings. Okay? While KU, teaching, training and referral hospital, and Kenyatta National Hospital, the biggest in the country, are receiving little money.
I hear you, my brother. Now tell me, they want to pay you for abducting you. Not just you, but you, the young people. They want to pay your parents. They want to pay the widows. And it seems like you are not happy that money is coming your way.
It's not, you see, it's not a matter of being happy that money is coming my way. For me, I don't care whether or not I'm given that money. By that, I don't care. But here's the thing. As I told you first, the greatest compensation would be the government or the state as the greatest duty bearer, working on the things that young people were fighting for before they were shot at, before they were abducted, number one. Number two, there are people, even now as we speak, there are some gentlemen at Kenyatta National Hospital still lying there who were shot on 25th and 2 on Sabasaba. They have not been treated to date. They have not healed. Do you want to tell me you want to give this person money while he's still undergoing treatment at KNH? You want to pay them? You are not concerned about their health. You're not concerned about whether or not they leave the hospital alive. You want to pay them money. Number two, we still have young people, as young as 20-year-olds from Matu, others from Kikuyu, and others from Ngong, who are arrested and charged with terrorism. A young boy driving boda. And you talk to him, he doesn't even understand what is happening. You charge him with terrorism just because he went to the streets to protest. We are creating wajambazi sugu. That is how wajambazi wanatokea. Because what are you showing to, a 20-year-old is a very young person. A very young person. Very young. There's someone who probably left Form 4. They have not gone to college or university. They are in the village. Okay? And then the first thing, wameshikwa, wamepelekwa, they were taken to committee. Okay? They spent there, some of them 2 weeks. There's one of them from Matu who stayed for more than a month. 23-year-old. 23-year-old has stayed in the remand for 30 plus days. What are you showing them? What are you teaching them? What are you instilling in these young people? You understand? You charge them with terrorism. And now you want to tell us you are going to compensate. What are you compensating when you are actually killing young people's lives? If you charge a 23-year-old, 21, 19-year-old with terrorism, you are killing him. You are actually taking the life out of him. They will live with that for the rest of their lives. The things they experienced in the remand center, and they told me, but I had a conversation with some of them. It was so bad in the remands, in the remands, because they were put there with other remandees. They were put there with, at some point, they were even put with people who've been who are actually serving their sentences. 19-year-old, 20, 21, 22, even 25-year-old. Watching that just for going out to protest. There are urgent issues to be sorted. Those young people cannot be staying in remand centers, and they cannot be going to court every now and then. They don't even have fare to be going to court. Imagine a young person coming from Matu, traveling to Nini every day, to Kahawa law courts every day, or every week or every month, coming for their case. Do you think that is where we should go? President Ruto should focus on nurturing these lives. He should, if there's anything that should have been done, those at KNH should be treated. Those that already were treated but are still recuperating from home should be taken care of. The young people who are charged with terrorism should be set free, and those charges should be dropped.
Why are those at KNH not being treated?
What do you mean they're not being treated? Yes, they're not being treated because the government stopped. Fred have been going to KNH. I have been going to KNH. even when there were still about 36 of them.
But the government want to pay them, want to compensate them.
The government want to compensate them. You are compensating someone who is even not feeling well. Fred, when I was going to KNH, 2 young people whose hands were chopped off with, using tear gas canisters, 2 of them. Do you know what one of them told me? He said, Okayo, sometimes when I sleep, I dream that I have my hand. When I sleep, I can feel my hand is heavy. I can feel I have my fingers. You understand? It's so painful. I'm telling you this because it's painful.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Imagine someone who has had their hand since they were born. At 24, okay? I'm so this is very painful.
Okay. It's okay.
It's very, very painful. At 24, he has lost his hand, okay? He has a young wife and a young child. He does border, okay? This one particular one was a border rider. He was in Ngong on Sabasaba. You remember on Sabasaba we had like 10 Subarus, one after another, touring the Ngong Rongai road. He was carrying someone. He just received a customer, and he was taking this customer somewhere. His hand was short. Immediately he just stopped using the other hand, and he told the lady, I cannot proceed, and he left his border there. They shot his hand. The hand had to be amputated. Walikata mkono.
Oh my.
You understand? He can no longer ride border, and is the breadwinner in his family. It means he cannot do anything now using that hand. He stayed in the hospital for more than 3 months. More than 2 months now. Okay? And he tells you, I can't believe I still don't have my hand. When I sleep, I dream that I have my hand. I can actually touch something. I can grab something. But when I get up, napata kisiki. Hakuna kitu. I was at the bedside and I was crying. Because I'm thinking about myself, what if it were me? You know, his livelihood is gone completely, forever, unless he gets something that can be done. And where can he, just a young man who is in Ngong, who was doing boda, get something else or something better to do? Kama hata wenye wamesoma kama sisi hawana kazi. Ndio maana tulikuwa tunaenda streets kupigania kazi. If even those who've gone to school and have both their hands and legs do not have jobs. This one who has now lost a hand and was using that hand to ride border to earn a living. What is he going to do? How are you helping that person? If he's given a few millions, is that going to sustain him for the rest of his life?
But some would argue that it is better than nothing.
It is better than nothing, fine. But have you ensured that he is fine, okay first? Is he treated? Okay? Mentally. You know, mental stability is something that is continuous. It will never end. Are you going to ensure that this person will not run mad?
And now tell me, man.
Because I can imagine there's a day this person will wake up and find he doesn't have hands and he will start shouting and he will run around. And someone can kill himself. Someone can kill himself because it's like, I don't have.
And now tell me, even as we are winding up, when I looked at that panel that was constituted by President William Ruto, that is headed by Professor Makau Mutua and LSK Chair, President, Faith Odhiambo, I have not seen a young man there who was on the street.
Thank you for bringing that up. Now let's talk about that panel. Kwanza, the empanelment itself is unconstitutional. We have the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights established under Article 59 of the Constitution. Article 59 establishes Kenya National Human Rights and Equality Commission, which was split to have Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and Kenya National Equality and Gender and Equality Commission. Now, if you go to Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Act, Section 8, it outlines the roles of KNHC, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. And one of them is assessment of, violation of human rights and fighting, or rather, and seeking any available redress. That is one of the roles of Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, already established by the Constitution. Why do we need another body? Now, this body is usurping powers of Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, which is constitutional. This body is unconstitutional. And number two, there was no need for us to have such an empanelment. What for? We already have framework for violations of human rights and how redress should be sought. We already have the procedure, because we have the act that operationalizes Article 59, and we have the body itself. What else do we need? We are creating jobs for people like Professor Makau Mutua. We are doing this for political expediency, so that then people will say, "Ai, kumbe watu ni wazuri. These broad-based brothers, kumbe they are good. They have come together and now they have, they are compensating people." And if we are talking about compensation, why from 2017? Why from 2017? We have had historical injustices from as early as 1969. We've had people massacred. We've had people die even in 1992, 2007, 2008. Okay? Why not go down that lane? If our interest is what happened last year, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has those figures, has those data. What is this panel doing? Okay? And if there was need for the panel, which there is none, why aren't there young people, a majority of whom are actually the victims? Why are young people not represented? Why is there no Gen Z in this panel? We have so many Gen Zs who are abducted. Others were shot at. They still have gunshot wounds. Why are they not part of that panel? This is a panel of elite who are coming here to do what we call academic exercise and staying there and saying we are doing data, whatever. And at the end of it, hakuna kitu itafanyika. Why don't we have young people represented in that panel, if there is need for that panel? Okay? There are so many questions to be asked about these political decisions that are being made. And it pains me that it appears like President Ruto wants to sink, and he wants to sink with almost everybody. So anyone who is standing with the people, he wants to find a way to bring them close so that he sinks with them. It is sad that it is happening, and we have to stop that from happening. This panel on experts, they call them experts. Who is an expert in police, in victims of in whatever? Who is an expert? Where have they worked before to compensate people? Why are they experts? Because someone will tell me, Okayo, we needed experts, not young people. Even those young people can be experts. In fact, they are experts by virtue of having suffered.
And they are all rich people.
These people who are in this panel are all rich people. People who have their jobs. Advisors, presidents of societies, executive directors of civil society organizations are the only people in that panel. Can we see a young person in that panel?
Who is probably jobless and could be feeling what ordinary youth of Kenya are feeling?
Honestly, it's a panel of elitists, individuals who are being who the president is trying to bring on board to ensure that he works his way through the general majority. But I don't see this panel working. I don't see this panel going anywhere, and I appreciate the High Court for having stalled that process. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what becomes of this panel. But it is entirely unconstitutional. It is entirely against the people's interest, and it is entirely against the interest of the Republic.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
Something else.
As we are winding up.
As we are winding up. let us think about bringing people to book. Initially, President Ruto called us terrorists. He called us so many names. He called us terrorists, criminals. He called us arsonists, he called us criminals. Okay? And he said we should be dealt with. After he had been advised that, look, that direction you are taking is not good. Again, for political purposes. Not genuine interest, not goodwill. Now he turned back, he said, by the way, we can compensate you. Okay? So now, they are compensating arsonists, criminals, terrorists. President Ruto is now wants to compensate terrorists, arsonists, and criminals. And he's happily doing that. Why? For political gain. It's important for people to understand that all that is being done around this G panel on experts is nothing but a political calculation.
For 2022?
For 2027. And I can tell you, should that compensation not be done by 2027, it's not going to be done. If this panel is not going to work through that process and complete it by 2027, by 9th of August 2027, Bwana, they are not going to be compensated.
William Ruto is two-term.
Two-term? Which two-term?
That is going to win by a landslide.
That is him saying. That is him saying. The people are not saying that. The people are not saying that. The people are saying one term. The people are saying Ruto must go. The people are saying we are tired. We have witnessed the greatest violations of human rights in the past 3 years. We have witnessed the greatest levels of corruption in the past 3 years. We have witnessed, let me tell you, immediately this government came into place, 500 million case involving, actually not 500 million, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but there's a case about Rigathi Gachagua that was dropped.
200 million.
200, thank you, 200 million. Have you ever had that case touched on again?
Never. Dropped.
Why? Okay, why?
They said it was Trump-up and politically motivated.
It was not politically motivated. Why was it politically motivated? If it was politically motivated, why was the DPP bringing the case in itself from the first place? It means then the DPP is not an independent office as it should be. And I have so many questions about DPP. Look at Obado the other day. His case about EACC were actually talking about 1.9 billion. DPP is saying 500 million. And then they go and recover 275 million. And now they say they are getting into a plea bargain. And they have agreed that they drop the charges and they... Honestly, what are we doing? We have witnessed the greatest corruption in the past 3 years. We have the economy has dwindled.
But who will send him home, my brother? Who? Look at the opposition. They are disjointed.
The people will send him home.
How?
Leave alone this so-called united opposition. This so-called united opposition, these are career politicians who know nothing but politicking. We have serious people, serious candidates, some of whom have not even declared. Serious candidates don't run around making a lot of noise for the longest time. Serious candidates spend their time in calculating and having serious power.
Let's wait and see.
And then they do what?
Let's wait and see. Thank you, my brother. And with that, we come to the end of our show tonight. It has been the People's Bench coming to you from Muthu Silver Springs Hotel here in Nairobi. It was a privilege having the former Kenya School of Law President, Mr. Joshua Okayo. He was abducted and disappeared for 3 days under or in the hands of the unknown people. But you and me,
know.
You know, he says that you know. That is it. We were talking about compensation for victims of police brutality and those who died on the streets. Until next time, we say bye-bye. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Just click on that button so that anytime we post this kind of usual and meaningful conversation, you will be able to find them. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much.
That was very informative.
Asante.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
pray that the Lord will help you even to heal fully,
Yes.
with time, my
Asante.
brother.
Thank you.
And thank you for being brave, for taking to the streets to save the country.
And
Not
we shall
many will do
continue.
that. You are continuing?
We shall continue.
You're not scared?
No.
Okay, we wish you all the best, my
Thank
brother.
you.
To
Asante.
change the country
Kabisa.
for better and for good.
Ag.
Thank you so much, and bye-bye.